What's up? All right, welcome back. So we are diving into things NAR and what we can do and what we should be saying and what we shouldn't be saying. And there's something that I saw online from Sharon that he had posted, and I realized that agents don't actually know how to talk about this, right? So inside of the real estate mastermind, this guy said, I had to turn away 7 couples from my open house today because they wouldn't sign a buyer rep agreement. The settlement has made it impossible for us to do business. One, that is completely a false statement. Okay. That is a complete false statement. A buyer can see an open house listing, right? A buyer can see an open house listing because that's acceptable, but you can't go show that buyer 5 other homes on that day after your open house is done unless they have signed either a touring agreement or a buyer agency agreement, which means that you've had to explain something to them around what is going on and how the new market works. But how would we utilize this, right? How do we utilize this so that we can have better conversations with our sellers? Because the opportunity is not just with the buyers, but it's also with the sellers, right? And so here's what you're going to do. When you're talking about, right, what the everyday average agent does, right? When you're talking about what the everyday average agent does, say, hey, one of our strategies is open houses, right? So when you're talking about how you create leverage, you're going to talk about open houses, and we're not going to go into the whole thing because it's inside of the portal, but you're going to say, is it cool if I show you like what a lot of average agents are doing in this market? And they're going to say, yeah, what's up? And then you're going to pull this out and you're going to show them this screenshot. And you're say, one of the things that has happened inside of our industry is that there's been some legal changes to protect consumers and for more transparency, which I think have been great. However, the problem is that most agents in our market, right, they don't understand how the changes affect them. And worse, they don't understand how the changes affect you. And then I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to say, so this was posted on August 18th, a Sunday, right? And what happened was that this agent, right, this everyday average agent said, I turned down 7 potential people who wanted to see the home because I didn't understand the rules. And the truth is that the rules are there to protect the consumer, but I represent you here in the sale of your home, and anybody that comes into an open house is exempt from the rule. So can you see how, like, if you don't have the right person who understands the changing landscape, do you see how that could be problematic in you getting the amount of exposure you need to get the price that you want, the terms that you want, and the offer or the buyer that you want? Do you see the difference? Right? We can't just show this because there's no context. We have to build the context. We have to make it relevant, and then we have to give them the right talk track. If you just give them, right, this piece of paper and you're like, hey guys, here's what this is, or you'd be like, I don't know what this means. But if you give it to them and you say, would it be cool if I walk you through what the everyday average agent is doing inside of open houses? And what the crazy part is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is we're seeing this every day. We're seeing this every day, that the everyday average agent doesn't understand the contracts. They don't understand the legalities. They don't understand the marketing, right? They have a canned presentation that they use for everybody, and they say the same thing. And a lot of them will even, they'll get listings for prices that are way overpriced, and then they come back to you and they ask you for price reductions, right? Can you see how that might be problematic when you're trying to get the best offer, the best buyer? Yes, right? And then we tie them down. So I guess, would you want an agent that does this, or would you want an agent who understands the rules? No, we want an agent that, why would that be important in this kind of a market where things have started to slow down, right? Why would that be important in this market where buyers are harder to come by than they've been in the last 9 years, right? If that's what your market's like, because a lot of markets at the time of this recording have started to slow down, right? We're in it's always a little slow before election. So post-election, this might be a little bit of a different conversation. The difference between you, right, that you've gone through the TRIZ program, you've gone through the online portal, right? Depending on where you're at, you're getting more advanced training. So we actually get to work on installing these into your game, into your book of business, right? Into your repertoire of things to use at your tool belt, versus the everyday agent. Is the everyday agent just winging it. And this shows you how much they're winging it, right? This shows you how much they're winging it. I would cross out the name of the agent too, right? We don't want to be throwing people under the bus. So I'd cross out the name of the agent just out of respect. But you got to be confident talking about NAR. If not, you're going to get smoked. So I hope this is helpful. leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're taking away from this talk track, and I'll see you soon.